Everyone is very tense at the moment.
So, Fran, how can we give women's players more help in terms of learning about injury and nutrition?
That's a good question. Obviously, we're seeing in the women's game recently how many women are struggling with knee injuries in general. It's probably one of the most important topics in terms of being an athlete.
Exxon down injured here. Fair bit of pain from that challenge as well.
It's something that gets neglected.
Injury delay here, Kirby who's down.
Breaking news, Chelsea have announced that following the injury that she sustained, FRAN KIRBY will not make the World Cup.
It was announced by Chelsea that she requires surgery. Make no mistake about it, it is a huge setback for England.
Hopefully we can find out why it happens and how we can prevent it to help prolong females' careers.
Come down, calling your soul.
Francesca Kirby, striker, shy, bit weird.
She wants to win at such a level that she hates anything that's mediocre.
You know, every game that I play in, I try and do something that I'll remember after the game.
That will to win, that expectation, that standard is for me what Chelsea's about.
It's FRAN KIRBY down the top corner. Don't save those. Clip ball in, and it's stabbed goalwards and Chelsea lead.
She's been out since February. Everything's been quite quiet as to how she's been progressing. She's a really, really big miss.
Being injured, it's the lowest probably you can be as an athlete. We all love to play the sport that we do, whether it's football, whether it's hockey, whether it's rugby, gymnastics, whatever you're doing, and as a player we cling on to any hope. You get that taken away from you and you're trying to get it back. To not be able to do that when it's out of your control, it's really hard. Sometimes where I've been injured and we've won trophies, when you don't feel part of it, it's really hard to get that sense of happiness. It's probably the loneliest that you can feel. It is something that everyone handles differently. I have seen in my own career and in many other players that they get told they're going to be back in 6 months and then they come back 2 years later. You know, you can always give the guidelines, but I think it's really dangerous for a player's mental health to say to someone, you're going to be back on the pitch in 6 weeks. As a player, you hold on to that. I should have been on the pitch 6 months ago, why am I not back on the pitch? You start to question why. Not recovering well enough, am I not doing enough things, am I not doing the right things? It's mentally really, really challenging. When I got injured and I knew it was going to be a long-term injury, I had to make an effort. I had to come out of my shell and it really changed me. I created friendships and bonds with people because I couldn't do that on the pitch. I was quite shy. And I'd probably say that's the only positive thing that came with that injury. The girls would come in and start dancing around me while I was doing my rehab. I think it's really important to keep that togetherness, and I think that was a big learning curve for me on how to deal with injuries and how to still feel part of the team as much as you can. Can I get some of this, please? Thank you. I think nutrition has a huge impact in terms of how your body recovers which is obviously critical to injuries. I think it's really important not to just talk about the fueling side of it, but also the injury prevention and how you can recover better so you don't wake up the next day with DOMS and then have to go to training. When I first started playing football, we didn't have anything like a nutritionist or a diet plan or anyone who kind of gave any info into it. So now we have a nutritionist with Chelsea, a nutritionist with England. I think there still is a big fear of carbs, not just in myself, but in the women's game, in terms of fueling, in terms of being ready for a game, being able to withstand the level for 90+ minutes. There is that stigma around it. As the game is growing, I do believe it has become more noticeable that people are getting comments about their weight and how they look on TV or how they look in pictures. That shouldn't matter. What body type you are, how you look in your dress, how you look in a kit.
Fran, how are you wearing a jacket?
I get called fat all the time, so I have to cover it up.
It's something that should be championed to be strong, and if that means that you have to eat more, you're doing the right things that your body needs, not just because of how you look on camera. We're seeing in the women's game recently how many women are struggling. There's been research around it, but I don't think it's something that we've invested enough time into.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
Not bad, thank you. We have different body types to men.
Easy trip into the city.
Easier than yours.
Yes.
There's research going on in terms of creating a boot specifically for women. How does our body move, how we twist, how our knees twist, how our body twists when we're in certain situations. I remember seeing these in Portland nearly a year ago now. How is the project going? I mean, these look pretty cool.
Really, the whole project was like put her at the center of the process, like females in general, and see what we can do with football boots.
Beautiful day. Being able to do a couple of sessions isolated, it really allowed me to actually test the boot out and to actually feel it.
We really wanted to have females at the center of the process. When we ask players like, hey, why do you prefer this? They're basically like, use the words you use, like we want to be snug, we want to feel locked in. Even within some of the research on like male and female anatomy, there are some things that are an outsized challenge for females. Like when we look at like forefoot shape and fit, like it's pretty similar men to women, but when you get to the midfoot, like females have a wider range of like those outliers of like, think of a friend who has a high arch versus flat feet.
Creating the studs underneath to help support our knees better, to give us more stability, and one minor change on the bottom of a boot can make a huge difference. It's finding them fine margins to help prolong females' careers.
From that first kickoff call we had with you to now, we've had testing across the globe. So some of our most elite athletes like yourself, but then we also had some more like recreational, like teenage girls who also are gonna get to try the Phantom Luna, which was important to us. Where's your favorite spot to play? I mean, obviously besides home.
I really enjoyed when we played at Juventus.
Okay.
Yeah, I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
It's actually something that I have been wanting for a long time.
Okay, perfect.
Cool. I've had knee problems my whole career. To see you again.
Amazing to see you.
For me to be a part of that and to see the effort that's going into it, it makes me feel really proud. When you're not playing, it's really hard to stay positive. And you have to. I think it's taken me my whole career to understand that.
I don't think there's anyone in Chelsea blue more popular than Fran Kirby. Listen to the roar.
When you've been out for such a long time, you know, the fans, they are one of the reasons why you want to get back. I feel like I'm finding my feet again, but when you come into a game, it's completely different. I've had a lot of setbacks in my career and I always want to try and come back stronger. So I always say to myself, okay, but how strong can you come back this time? As female footballers, we want to make strides in the female game. We all want to be a part of it.
News just in. After missing the World Cup due to major knee surgery, Chelsea's FRAN KIRBY is back in the England squad.